Shine. What's up?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
There's good. All right.
Good morning, team. Thanks for coming in early today. I asked you all to come in today so we can talk about a recent patient, Alex Pierce, who is really insisting on getting a tongue ring and possibly a lip ring as well. And this is really common among kids her age. And so I wanted to get you all to come in and talk about how we can proceed with similar patients. Victoria, can you fill us in on Alex's most recent visit?
Alex's family has been with our practice for years. Here's her file. She came in last week for a checkup and cleaning. Upon examination and full mouth series x-rays, I noticed that the patient has signs of poor oral hygiene and dental neglect.
Wait, I'm sorry. Before we move on, she paid, right? She paid in full, right?
Now, Mr. Banks. It's always about the money with you.
My job, what can I say?
Why don't you tell us what your findings were and how bad it was?
Well, food debris and plaque were observed on all buccal and lingual surfaces of the teeth. There's also inflammation of the gingiva and areas of demineralization on maxillary posteriors.
Any caries?
Yes, several caries of various severities were found, including radiographic class 2 and 3 lesions. I did a prophy to remove plaque and I applied topical fluoride.
Okay, so did you give her any advice?
Yes, I advised the patient together with their parent on specific oral hygiene instructions that were aimed at proper toothbrushing and flossing techniques. I also gave nutrition counseling to increase the patient's awareness of the causes of bacterial dental illness so that future problems can be avoided.
And what's the worst that can happen if she got a piercing?
I'm afraid if Alex gets an oral piercing, it will lead to more dental problems since the piercing will act as a harbor for additional biofilm and plaque. It is without a doubt a challenge for us to prevent these negative consequences and to inform and to prevent patients from acquiring such piercings, because I believe that once damage is done, reconstructive and regenerative techniques will not always be successful.
Thank you, Victoria. I actually know Alex and her family very well. They've been coming to this practice for years. Like many teens, I've noticed that she's struggling to find her own identity. She's going for the punk goth look lately. Now, I want to speak to her mother on the phone about the consequences of, the oral health consequences of getting piercings. So what I did is I wrote a little rap about it. If you want to be cool, listen to your doc. They'll get your smile looking fresh, and soon kids will talk. Soon you will be number one. More Facebook likes, cause you're ready to stun.
Anyway, and it's not only Alex. We've seen several other patients with the same issue, since it seems to be affecting a lot of the teenagers. What do you think we can do about it for young people in our community?
Well, I think that would be a really great idea for our practice to go into the community and implement a program to raise awareness in the high school setting. And I think high school students are really impressionable, so we can influence them in a positive direction.
You know, I think that's a good idea, but how do you think we could accomplish this in a high school?
So we can specifically target the health classes, and I think it's really important to educate the teenagers about the consequences of the oral piercings. Not many of them know that it can be destructive to the oral cavity.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know, we were all once high schoolers ourselves. Getting this information through to high schoolers can be tough.
I think an effective way to communicate with them would be a video depicting a case study. I think using visual aids will resonate with this population really well. I feel that once we relay this information, the issue will subside.
I love that idea. Do you think we can implement it in a structured way?
How about me doing the rap in a public school?
No, you're a horrible rapper.
Mr. Banks, do we have the funds for this project?
Yeah.
So, off the top of my head, the numbers look good. In fact, in general, over the last 6 to 7 months, we've actually been experiencing steady growth in the business. And even in terms of our more recent investments, like that new digital panoramic x-ray machine, we're close to paying that off. So I think we are in a good position to actually be able to finance this or implement this.
Okay, good. I'll put this whole program together, but I'm going to need some help from you guys. Like you, Mr. Banks, to make a spreadsheet so I have a preliminary budget. Ms. Shine, I'd like you to put together a PowerPoint of the consequences. Dr. Goodbar, if you can find case studies that we can present, that would be really helpful. And Ms. Perside, I would appreciate it if you could help me make this video.
That sounds excellent. I'm looking forward to working on this with everyone. Bring it in!
Go team!
That's some bad hat, Harry.